Hello there, once again, talking fight fans to another exciting episode of Neil the Deal featuring Neil the Deal himself. Yes, sir. And tonight we go way back in history. We're dealing with Chuck Wepner, one of the greats. What do you got for us, Neil?
Good evening, Graham. Thank you very much for having me out. Nice to see you tonight, guys. I had a great day thanks to you guys. Every day's been great since I met all you guys out there. Awesome. Thank you very much for everything, the likes, the shares, all the great stuff you've been doing. Like every day, it's like all right, great. Let's keep her rolling. And you know what? I was saving this one for a special day. I thought today was a special day. I can't really get into it because it's kind of personal, Graham. But you know, this guy was a guy that I used to watch. This Chuck Wepner. That's who we're talking about, Graham. So
Yeah.
Chuck Wepner is a heavyweight fighter, guys. And I used to feel sorry for him because every time I saw him fight, he won the lower class heavyweight battles. He won a lot of them, but when he got to the big fights, Graham, the poor guy was just outmatched or something, but he never gave up. He had the biggest heart. Chuck Wepner, sir, I know you're out there, 81 years old, watching Neil the Deal, dude. You're amazing. That guy took more punishment, Graham, than anybody I ever saw. So I always kind of had a soft spot for him because he never gave up. He was out of those fights and he knows it, but he didn't he just stayed there until they told him that was it, right? Basically, most of his fights were ended because of blood. He was known as the bayonet. I think it was the bayonet bleeder. That was his handle. Basically, is the way he had his nickname, right? The bayonet bleeder, because he was from Bayonet, which is a town in Jersey, Bayonet, and apparently it was a really tough town growing up. So um, I had a lot of respect for him, Graham, and I always, when I kept seeing him, I thought, oh my gosh, the poor guy's getting like completely beaten up and bloodified and ripped to pieces, and like, but he never quit. So that's why I liked him. I said to my dad, now there's a guy who I like. He got that shit kicked out of him and still didn't, you know what I mean? Like he didn't even phase him. He was like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'll keep going until the ref said, no, come on, dude. You have like 50 stitches in your face now. We better stop the fight. Like now they stop fights with a cut over the eyeball. This guy had 50 Sonny Liston put 72 stitches in his face.
Wow.
Yeah, just to close up the wounds. Like, watch that fight? Chuck Wepner, Sonny Liston. That was Wepner's last fight, actually. And or sorry, no, maybe it was Sonny Liston's last fight. It was one of their last fight. You know what I mean? Like one of them. I think it was Sonny Liston's last fight, but Wepner lost, obviously, because right. But anyways, great guy, Chuck Wepner. We're going to talk about him, guys. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'm having a great day. This is a good one. So Chuck Wepner was kind of like the underdog of all underdogs in everything, right? He was born February 26, 1939. Is from his parents. I used to watch him. He was a big guy, Graham, 6'5", big guy. And his parents apparently were Ukrainian and Polish. So that, like they were right. They immigrated to America, and he was born in New York, right? He's now 81 years old right now. Like he's still alive. God bless you, Chuck. If you're out there, buddy, I'd love to. Man, I'd like to have Chuck Wepner. I'm gonna find Chuck Wepner. That's gonna be a mission of mine. I gotta talk to him. If he wants to talk to us, Graham, I'm in. So yeah, so he was the last guy to fight Sonny Liston, right? He learned to fight as a child in Bayonet. It was a really tough town, like you said. Then in his teens, he joined the Marines. Guys, he joined the Marines again. Graham, there's another guy who was a military veteran, so to speak, and he won a lot of military titles when he was in the military. And in around 75, Graham, this is an interesting one. In around 75, he he got an article about him in Sports Illustrated because when he was in the war, he actually participated in the war. I believe it would be the Vietnam War. Um, he was glorified by saving 3 pilots from a blazing plane at one time. Yeah. So he was very highly regarded within the military ranks because of his bravery. You know what I mean? So from a young age, the guy was actually like, he was a very brave guy. You know, like he did extraordinary things before he was even a boxer, right? So he did all that. He in 1964, I believe he turned pro. His pro record's pretty good. You know, like I watched him. I probably seen 10, maybe 12 of his fights, right? So all total, guys, he had 51 fights, 35 wins, right? Out of 51. So, and he had 17 knockouts out of the 51, right? Well, 35 wins, right? And 14 losses, Graham. Like I seen him lose a lot because when he was losing, he wasn't losing the prepper fights. He was losing the title fights. So I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, and it was like, oh my gosh, the poor guy, and he got beaten up a lot of times. It was like, oh my gosh. But I guess, like, well, being a Marine, he probably and a war veteran, that was nothing. You know what I mean, Graham? Like those guys are tough as hell. You got to be tough to go to war. You go to a real war. That's the tough guys. Even anybody will tell you that. That's when you're really tough. So, anyways, he fought Liston, and he ended up with 72 stitches in his face. So if you watch that fight, Wepner versus Liston, Graham, I don't know how much blood you can lose and still be standing, but that was almost the like. And then the Ali, okay, he fought Ali, as we all know. That was a 15 rounder, and that was probably when I saw that fight, Ali Wepner live. I felt bad for the guy. That's what I was actually feeling bad because he got TKO'd in the 15th round with 19 seconds left, Graham, and he looked like a can of smashed assholes. Sorry, guys, but that's what it was, and it was a lot of blood. Like check that out. That was terrible. So, anyways, but he didn't give up. So I was like, whoa, that guy's like serious. You know what I mean? He won't give up. So we did all that, which was really, really amazing to me. His last fight, he retired in 78, right? Like I kind of lost track of him, Graham, because he kind of was like faded off after those big title fights and the guys he was fighting. He fought Foreman, he fought some big guys, man. So the interesting part is he's still alive. God bless you there, Chuck. Fucking top notch. You know what I mean? Like, boom. That was awesome to know that. And then I knew about this, but I was kind of like didn't want to really talk about it until I figured it all out. But you know the Rocky trilogy movies, Graham?
Sure do.
Yeah, Rocky. You know that guy? What's his name?
Sylvester
Stallone.
Stallone.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, the Italian guy who thinks he's all that and a bag of chips, right? So he he took he basically made the Rocky movies based on Chuck Wepner's life, guys. Everybody, like for real.
I did not know that.
There you go. Maybe that's the most interesting part of the whole segment here, guys, or the episode. But this is the truth, and this is the truth. So Sylvester Stallone decided he was going to make this Rocky movie, and he based the first one on Chuck Wepner's life. Then in the second movie, he offered to give him a sparring part in the movie and blah, blah, blah. But at that time, apparently Chuck was involved in some extracurricular activities at the time and was unable to attend. So he's had a problem with the extracurriculars at times, but he's like, I mean, that was 30 years ago. So in those days, the Rocky movies were all based on this guy. Guys, that's unbelievable. Eh? So that's the real truth. Sylvester Stallone took the guy's life story and put it in the film, in movies, and I make movies, and that's what he did. And I always knew that. So he sued Stallone, right? Obviously, and was given an undisclosed amount of money, Graham. So apparently there is some validity to this, right? Like, why, I don't know, right? I don't know. Stallone was like, all right, fine, whatever, bud. So in 2010, he sued him in, I think, like 2003 or something. And then around 2010, he got married again, apparently, and he started getting into wine and being like a wine connoisseur, liqueurs and spirits and stuff. Like, he completely changed, so to speak, on that level. And then a lot of companies started making these movies about him. So there's a bunch of movies out there about this guy, Chuck Wepner, Graham. One is called Chuck, right? If you want to look it up, the movie's called Chuck Wepner's biography. The other one is called, which is really cool, The Real Rocky. So that's an actual movie. It was ESPN aired it. ESPN, you guys can check it out on YouTube. Check it all out. The Real Rocky. And like, I knew that, but I didn't really dig into it too much. But that's who that guy is. So, we all watched the Rocky movies. We saw. Oh, this is a good one too. You remember Andre the Giant, Graham, that huge wrestler dude?
Sure do.
Yeah, that guy was massive. One time I had to serve him dinner, Graham.
Who, Andre or Rocky?
No, Andre the Giant. I had to deal with the guy at the Hilton Hotel. No lie. And I'm telling you, it was a 4-seater couch, and he was all 4 seats. And he ate a lot. I was room service manager, and he ate more and drank more. Those guys did it all. Andre the Giant was unbelievable. But anyways, so you remember in Rocky, I think it was 2 or 3 or something. Remember when Hulk Hogan was in the Rocky movie and he picked up Rocky and threw him into the crowd?
Sure, it wasn't Dolph Lundgren.
Like Hulk Hogan. No, Hulk Hogan.
Wasn't that Dolph Lundgren?
He threw Rocky into the crowd. Well, that was based on the fact that when Chuck Wepner had an exhibition kind of fight against Andre the Giant, like some sort of thing back in it was like 70s. I don't know, right? Andre the Giant apparently picked him up and threw him in the crowd. So Rocky, Sly, or whatever you want to call him, Snake Sly, he stole that from him, right? Oh, we'll just put that in the film, And it was all based on Andre throwing him out of the ring. So anyways, pretty interesting stuff. Like I said, guy's got a really good career. So the notable fights, we'll just go through that quick. Ali, of course, right? March 24th, 1975. He lost the 15th round with 19 seconds left and looked like a can of whatever smash somethings. Then he fought Joe Bugner, September 8th, 1970. He lost in the 3rd round, got knocked right the hell out. That was another one. I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm watching this stuff. Wepner versus Foreman, which I watched, August 18th, 69. I didn't watch it live, but I've seen it. And he lost 3rd round, knocked out, completely killed. Like, it's just like, oh, poor guy. Like, every time, but he'll win like 20 in a row and then lose to one guy, right? You know what I mean? But the one time I saw him that he did well, so we'll give him that, Chuck. He did it. When you fought Wepner versus Ernie Tyrell, and he won the national, this is interesting, the national heavyweight title. But I guess at that time, it was recognized as a WBA. I don't know. That's a question for you guys. What is the National America's heavyweight title belt look like, or what is that? The National America's heavyweight title? Okay. Well, that's a new one on me. So anyways, Graham, great fighter, a lot of heart. Wasn't the most classiest guy in the ring, like the best guy, but he just showed up, and that's what you got to do in life. Show up, do your best, even if you get your ass kicked, at least you fricking showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, right? And that was that guy, and that's why I liked about him. He was freaking awesome. I'm telling you. Wepner was one of the best guys for the heart. So that's why I liked him. Hey, Graham? He knew he was getting killed, but he just didn't give up. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting beaten up by Muhammad Ali for 15 rounds. You know you're getting beaten up. Right? It's not like, oh, I got a chance. No, you have no chance. But he didn't quit. So I like him. So Chuck, man, at 81, if you're out there, if anybody knows about Chuck Wepner, and we can love to talk to Chuck Wepner, that would be I might try to call him, Graham. I think I should do that, maybe. Figure it out. I don't know. or anybody knows him out there, guys. If you know where he is or how we can get a hold of him, let the producers know. We would love to have him out on the Neil the Deal show and talkinfight.com. You know what I mean? So, guys, that's it. Chuck Wepner, check him out. The Bleeder. That's what I used to call him. That like every time you see him fight, Graham, there's blood everywhere. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Anyways, all right. Have yourselves a good evening. Like, share if you like sharing, if you like liking, right? You know, subscribing if you like that part, do that too. Tell your friends, tell your your cousins, your uncles, aunts, whatever, your girlfriend, your girlfriend's friend, or whatever, right? And comments, of course, are great. All right. So let's talk to them tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out, Graham. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, buddy.
And remember, to all of our subscribers out there, don't forget to ring the bell and get our notifications. Thanks,
Bring
Neil.
it
We'll
up.
see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Graham, for having me out, guys. Check out Chuck Wepner and be safe and stay warm.